I'm an animal lover, which, who knows, could have been exactly what got me into this mess. I've been an animal lover since I was a child, and they say sometimes you can get the ticks or the fleas or the mosquito bites that give you these illnesses from your family pet. It is a possibility. But still, huge animal lover, and I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and they are my best friends in the whole world because I spend more time at home now. I've never been a homebody, but in the last couple of years, specifically the last year, I've spent more time at home than I have probably in my entire life, and they're just my best friends. They already were creatures that I loved very much, but now they're a large portion of my social life, and they're just fascinating and wonderful. 2 dogs, Franny and Cooper, and 2 cats, Daisy and Elway R. Smooch. Yeah, Franny knows I'm talking about her, so she's doing a little dance. They're also all sort of lined up over here on a futon because it's way past their bedtime and they get very agitated when I won't go to bed when they want me to. Also, I've always done, my whole life I've done a lot of community theater, but there were also times in my life where that's been my primary job, either working on the business end, i.e. box office managerial of performing theaters, touring. I did some regional and national tours, only one national tour, but a lot of regional tours, and then I worked in a lot of, where I live, a lot of the local theater houses for a living, and there were times in my life where I could definitely make that a full living out of being a performer. I of course can't do that, and that is my first love, and I miss it. However, I'm really lucky that I have a local community theater less than a mile from my house, especially considering there are days that I cannot drive, but I'm still able to keep my hand in and participate weekly even, or daily if I'm in a show or directing a show, because it's not an imposition to ask someone for a ride 2 blocks, and we have a really active group in this town, and so I'm able to do community theater, which, while I'm not getting a paycheck, is something I've always loved to do anyway, and it's close to my house. Right now I'm doing a show called The Boys Next Door, and I used to do a lot of musicals and dancing, and I say used to, I mean I did one as recently as February, but quite frankly, with the status of my health, I was a moron to do that show. I loved it. It was Chicago, and I got to play Roxy, and that was something I always wanted to do, but it really it came close to killing me. Trying to do something like that. It was too rough on my body. But a show like Boys Next Door, comedy, where you don't have to dance and kick your leg up by your ear and do cartwheels, and you can move around like a normal human being, is something I can still do most days, and it gives me something to look forward to, and guarantees that I leave the house at least a couple of times a week for a couple of hours at a time. And because it is non-pay, and because this is an organization I've done a lot with, they're very understanding of my health status, and know that in the end I'll do everything I can and not let them down, so they're still giving me a lot of great opportunities. So those are things that make me really happy. But if you're out there sick, and I've started a lot of other things since I've been a lot more homebound. Like, I like to paint because that's really stationary. I can be in a lot of pain and still have a canvas in my lap and do some acrylic paints. I'm terrible at it, but it's still very fun. And I've always written a lot. Now there's some days where I'm too sick to sort of sit up at a computer, so then I talk, or I speak what I want to write later into recorder, and then type it up on a day where I feel like this, where I feel more upright. Although a day like today I couldn't sit at a computer and type just because my spine hurts so terribly bad. I couldn't do that, but there are days when I can, so I record what I want to write. I write a lot of poetry, angsty, crappy poetry, and rhymey, Shel Silverstein-like stuff. And I write a lot of plays. I've actually had a few plays published. I've had a children's play published, and I wrote a children's musical with a friend that we're working on publishing. And then I love to write sketch comedy and I'm starting to sort of write longer and longer pieces. So there's a lot of really good things in my life. And I wanted to talk about those things and some of the quirky things, and hopefully I'll remember to do that again. Because I'm sure there'll be, if I keep this up, this video logging, some days where I don't know if I'm going to be brave, like some of the very brave people I see on YouTube that film when they're having an incredible herx, or insist that somebody films while they're seizing or crawling across the floor. Not that that doesn't happen to me. Those things happen to me, but I'm not really sure that I'm brave enough to show them on camera. We'll see. I really admire the people that do, because I think that I don't know, I think that the truth sets us free in all aspects of life. The truth shall set you free, and that's definitely some truth that those people are showing on their cameras. But anyway, so those are some of the things that make me happy. Also, I'm very fortunate that I have a very wonderful boyfriend who I live with, who, while we don't always see eye to eye, has been incredibly solid while I'm sick, and incredibly helpful. And it takes a really, I don't know, I sit and think about it a lot. I don't know if you have to be stronger as a person to take care of a sick person that you love, or if you have to be stronger to be the sick person, or if they're just two different kinds of strong. But between him and my parents, I'm just really lucky, and I have some wonderful friends. So now I feel a little weepy. So that was it. I just wanted to have some good things about my life out there and try to always remember to share those, as well as the technical aspects of health and the sad parts. Okay.